Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy Mr. DG94 with another MyCareer 2K gameplay. And today I am back in Minnesota again, taking on my old team, the Houston Rockets. Let's see if we can get this win. And yeah, I'm depressed again, being back on this team. Alrighty. Come on. This is that bullshit. This is that bullshit that I be talking about. Why the fuck am I back on this team, man? Come on. Asked for a trade. I got the trade. They trade me back to Minnesota. Really, 2K? Really? Come on now. That's that bull. I mean, you could at least sent me to Indiana. I would have at least took Indiana if you was trying to keep me in the Midwest. I would at least took Indiana. Hell, you could have sent me to Cleveland. I could have tore it up with Kyrie Irving. But no, you sent me back to Minnesota, who is doing pretty good. They are the second seed in the West. I will admit that. I believe they're behind the Clippers. I think the Clippers are in first right now. It's the Clippers or the Portland Trail Blazers. I can't remember. Other than that, I mean, team's not bad. It's just, they're very passive. They don't like passing. They don't like scoring. They want you to do all the scoring, which I don't want to do. So, yeah, but in other news, though, Bledsoe. I was wondering when this guy was gonna, I was wondering when they were gonna get this guy, out there. I was wondering where he was gonna go, and I was thinking, damn, he gonna actually sit out a whole season. I was surprised no offers. I was surprised that the Lakers didn't try and vouch for him, or even Cleveland, because Eric Bledsoe and LeBron are real tight with each other. So I was very surprised that Cleveland or Los Angeles or the Lakers, they didn't try and go after Eric Bledsoe. But hey, if your money's funny, your money is funny. So, what do I think about that happening? Eric Bledsoe possibly going to the Minnesota Timberwolves. I see the Minnesota Timberwolves as a 7th seed if that happens. If that happens, the Minnesota Timberwolves are a 7th seed, in my personal opinion, because now you got too much going for that squad, man. That's I honestly believe that Eric Bledsoe can be the best. I guess technically, since because of his athletic ability, you can honestly say he's a 2 guard. So he can be a great shooting guard. He does have some injury problems that has plagued his career from reaching that great potential, but I still see him as I could still see him as an all-star in the league one of these days. I can still see him doing incredible things in this league, but he gotta stay healthy. That's number one. That's goal number one. Stay healthy. Goal number two, I mean, just try and goal number two, just go out there and ball, man. Like Eric Bledsoe with the Suns this year, he was balling. And I was surprised that nobody really went after him after, Carmelo and LeBron, they made their decisions. LeBron decided to go back to Cleveland. Chris Bosh decided to stay in Miami. Carmelo Anthony decided to be with the Knicks. I was just surprised that nobody was touching Eric Bledsoe. And I was wondering, like, it the teams not find this guy valuable? Like, what is not valuable about him? I didn't understand it, and now they and now the teams are going after him. He's still out there on the market, and I guess Minnesota was like, "Hey, we can lose Kevin Love, but we'll get Eric Bledsoe." And I don't think Minnesota wants to rebuild. I think Minnesota feels like they have all the pieces they need to move forward. They got Andrew Wiggins, Zach Levine. I know in the last video I was calling him Adam Levine. My bad. His name is actually Zach Levine. So you got Anthony Bennett, who you can still who they could still turn into a good power forward. They can still turn him into a good power forward. He just really got to work with. They just got to get his mechanics down. Start him off as a pick and roll guy, really, and then work his mechanics around as time goes on. And then I'm pretty sure Bennett will turn into something good. Not something great, but something good enough to contribute to the team. And you have Thaddeus Young and Ricky Rubio. I believe they still have J.J. Barea. I believe they still do. I don't know. J.J. Barea, Corey Brewer's still there. Who else still there? Chase Budinger, but he needs to like come off injury too. Like he needs to stay healthy too, because that's another thing. Chase Budinger is a really underrated player. Like he's really underrated, and I feel like he can go the distance. He just has to stay healthy. That's number one. They got Peklovich as well, and they got that one kid. They got the one kid, the tall kid right here, number 5. Dang, I believe his name is, and they still got Kevin Martin. So this team on paper is a playoff contender, but they're not as high as I think as people might think they can't go if Eric Bledsoe does come to the team. So I mean, with the Suns, they got too many people in the backcourt as is. You got Dragic, you got Isaiah Thomas, you got so many people, and I think that I think that Minnesota would be a good fit because you know they got a lot in their backcourt too, but they can give up some pieces, man. They could trade away some of those pieces. Like you could trade away Alex Shev or somebody like that for some more wing guys, because that's the biggest thing with Minnesota. They need some more wing guys. They need some more stretch forwards, some more small forwards. I know they got Zach Levine and Andrew Wiggins and Thaddeus Young, but I still think actually, to me personally, I think they need some shooters. They just need 3-point shooters. I mean, if you could pick up a Ray Allen, say they could pick up a Ray Allen or touch on a Rashard Lewis if he's like healthy enough to like come to their team. Like if they can just find a knockdown shooter, that'd be good. They can make a trade for Kyle Korver or JJ Redick. I mean, they can definitely be in the playoffs this year. It's just a matter of can they actually like find players, because they just need knockdown shooters in my personal opinion. I think it's a good team. They just never have really. They just don't have offensive players. They just don't have like offensive players that can just knock it down, just pop threes left and right. That's been their biggest problem. They picked up Kevin Martin. That was a good move, but they also need some more offense. And yep, that's the game. You take care of my old team, the Houston Rockets. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.